Hi, Peter. We are so glad to have you in the program. You have written numerous books on consulting, leadership, organization, and building community. And I've been following you for a long time, and you have always been ahead of your time. One example is the book Stewardship. I think that was ahead of its time when it came out, and then when the second edition came out about 10 years ago, even that was kind of progressive then, I think. So what would you say about stewardship and how is it relevant today?
I think all these questions revolve around how people use power and control. And we're all torn between wanting a world that's predictable, consistent, scaled, and the fact we can't automate everything. And so stewardship was about having people closest to the customer, having a louder voice in our well-being. And right now I do it with communities, how to get citizens to reclaim control over their own well-being. And it changes the role of leader enormously. And what we're doing now is leader as convener rather than leader as role model. And in a context of uncertainty, complexity, even more so.
Yes, yes. Could you expand a bit on the concept of leader as a convener? What do you mean by that, and what's kind of the benefits to leaders today?
It's where you put your attention. We've trained leaders to be the center of the universe, to be role models, to make eye contact, ask open-ended questions, to be coaches and mentors, and let go of that. All that does is create a parent-child world to live in. And it's bad enough because employees want a parent. They want a good parent. They want to know what their future is like. So take that, let go of that. Be a good human being, but get employees or citizens to be with each other in a different way. And to convene is to engage and say, the reason we're here is for you employees to be with each other and get connected to each other, learn to trust each other, make a difference with each other. And I'm here to ask you questions and break you into small groups and let you decide what you want to create. And I produce the railing, okay? I know what business we're in. I know what promises we have to make. Those are non-negotiable. But how we live together, let me stop being the center of attention, because all that does is create entitlement and expectations that the world may not fulfill. And it's not easy, but it's simple.
Yeah, I noticed this is a pitfall of caretaking, and also I've seen in organizations now, I think it's a trend that organizations want to be the best employer they can be. There's this to get talent, they cannot advertise. They have to be the best employee brand, etc. But that creates kind of these unreasonable expectations, and then I've seen that just a small setback or kind of negative experience, then that causes kind of a storm of complaints and this kind of entitlement.
Yes, it is. It keeps people compliant and creates judgments, and it's an unfulfillable social contract. So what you've done as a country makes sense to the world, but now we have to do it within companies and say the social contract of I know and you don't, I'm parent and your child, that contract is unsustainable today. And so we're trying to renegotiate the social contract to say peer relationships is what creates the future.
Yeah, so even with the best intention of taking care of your employees, that kind of backfires and it's create this.
You can't do it. Now, if the future was certain, you could do it.
Yeah.
When we made cars and we had a production line and life was like that, you say, if you do this, I'll do that. Complexity is in the name of who you are, Michael. And you chose complexity not out of accident, but that's as accurate as we can describe the world as we know it. And so, in a context of complexity, the contract has to be peers, connecting with peers and deciding what they want from each other, how they're going to handle failure and disappointment. And the boss becomes a partner in those conversations not the judge and arbiter, and it never worked very well. It's just.
So we have realized that command and control and micromanagement doesn't work, and then kind of the pendulum has swung too far to be kind of caretaking and the coaching and wanting the best of everyone, and now we kind of need to shift the social contract again.
Exactly, and it's the methodology is one of creating partnerships. You don't, if you're a partner in a business, you don't say, well, here's what you have to do to please me. You say, well, what do we have to do to please each other?
Yeah, so partnership is a better role.
Yeah, and it's more of a consultative role. And I think it's simple to do. It's people sitting down, peers, and saying, what do you want from me? Here's what I want from you. Okay, and then if you can't reach agreement, sometimes we need a third party, but most of the time you're asking, and what you're really doing is creating a culture of accountability versus a culture of entitlement.
Yes, interesting. So yes, we are looking so much forward to explore this with you much more on October 24th in our Leading Complexity program. So we are so happy to have you on the program. Thank you so much, Peter.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation, for caring about the right things. I appreciate that.